Rob and Slim Show.
Yeah, this is Adam Heath.
Hey, Adam Heath. How you doing, dude?
What's going on, man?
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
Not bad, not bad. Awesome. Doing good.
Good.
What, I saw that you're a comedian and a speaker. I wanted to ask what you speak about. Is it like a colleges or something, or?
I do a lot of things, different types of speaking. I do some motivational speaking. I talk about like transparency and honesty in personal life and in work, and I teach writing workshops as well. Cool. So it tends to be both of those things, and then of course there's comedy, and I get paid just to go talk to just spoke for the American Advertising Federation as a keynote speaker, and I just kind of spoke about advertising and made it funny. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I was watching some of your stand up. It's hilarious, dude.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I love the Valentine's Day bit.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And
it's actually a true story too.
Yeah, I thought so. And also the weight loss, the big and tall men shops and all that stuff. I really enjoyed it. Do you get paid for gigs?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't. To be honest, sounds kind of shitty, but I don't actually do anything unless I get paid for it.
I completely agree with that.
I wish I was at that point.
Yeah, when you first start doing comedy, I mean, you take any stage time you can, but when you've been doing it long enough, then you do it if you're going to get paid for it. Unless there's some really good benefit, I make sure I get paid for my gigs.
Cool. How long have you been doing it for?
Almost 5 years.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool, dude. I was going to ask, you're from Orlando, correct?
Yes. Yep.
I don't know if he still does, but I know Ron Bennington used to have a club down there. I don't know if he still does. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No. Do you know what the name of the club was?
I think it was Bennington's, and like I said, I don't even know if it's still around. But like this might have been back in the '80s and early '90s. He's a radio personality, and he owned his own comedy club when he was down there. And like I said, I didn't know if he still owned it and ran it, or if he had gotten rid of it or not. But it was a big place.
It's not here in Orlando anymore. Not anymore at least.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, I wasn't sure, and I just didn't know. I figured you probably have heard of it if it was still around.
Oh yeah, I would have. I mean, because we know anywhere that does comedy, I would say you can't be a comedian in the area without knowing about them. And I actually run a group on Facebook that has a list of every club and bar that does comedy and when they do and everything. Anyways.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I even had like Rodney Dangerfield back in the day there and stuff. He was pretty.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty big venue. I saw too. You have a book called Interviews with Dead Celebrities. I thought that was amazing.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I started off actually because in Orlando, I don't know if you remember the whole Casey Anthony thing.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah. Okay. So when Casey Anthony's trial was happening, I have a blog on my website. I write on there. I've been writing for like 17 years, and I did a fake interview with Kaylee Anthony, with the dead daughter, basically. And
amazing.
But it was designed to be more social commentary than anything else. It was basically her admitting that of course her mother did it. Why doesn't anybody why are we even going through this this kangaroo trial, etc.
Yeah.
And so then it got so popular that I started doing that whenever celebrities died. And now anytime a celebrity dies, I get emails and texts and messages from people like, hey, when's your next interview coming out?
I have a question.
I decided to compile them all into a book, and then I haven't written any new ones in a while, except just yesterday I wrote one for Rosa Parks.
I saw that one. I read that one. I was like, that's fucking amazing. I thought she was dead. And then
can we still find the Anthony one?
The
Casey Anthony one.
Is it in the book?
Is it still like?
It's not in the book, no, because that one was limited to celebrities. But if you're on my site or you just search, type in Avitable.com space Kaylee Anthony, it's Caylee, you'll be able to find it.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, the Rosa Parks one was one I just wrote yesterday just because it was the 60th anniversary of when she refused to give up her seat.
I like when she was saying how she really had a sense of humor, and what was it, an orgy with transvestites, and it was a really funny line.
Yeah.
That's
I was try to be socially conscious and funny at the same time.
Yeah.
Some of those celebrities are really have a big fan base. Has anybody gotten pissed off at you?
No, I had some friends that are no longer friends because of interviews I wrote with, like, Whitney Houston, for example. I actually lost some friends because of that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people were real touchy about that. One of our buddies had posted something after she died, and a lot of people on Facebook got real shitty with them over it. Like,
Yeah,
She was a
and I just,
crackhead.
I was obviously just, it's being funny, but part of what I do is trying to poke fun at the fact that people worship celebrities so much.
yes.
And that proved my point that they were, got so pissed at me calling her, a crackhead, basically.
And his
Was
thing
a
too was like, soldiers die every day protecting our fucking rights, and you're honoring somebody who basically did it to themselves. Like,
Yeah.
it's fucked up.
Exactly.
And I remember one of my buddies, a year after she died, posted, "Congratulations, Miss Whitney Houston, on being sober for 1 year."
All right.
That-
I originally saw that same joke when Amy Winehouse died. It was 2 weeks later. Someone tweeted, "Congratulations on Amy Winehouse on 14 days of sobriety." That was pretty fantastic.
That's great. And I saw too. Is that true that you lost? Would you say 165 pounds?
Yeah. I used to be. I'm fat still, but I used to be a lot fatter, I guess is the way to look at it. I used to be about 450, 460 pounds.
How'd you do it?
So, I actually had lap band surgery.
Okay.
Because I tried to lose weight with traditional methods, but I was a stress eater. So I had the surgery, which sounds like an easy out, but it's really not. It limits what you can eat to like 4 ounces of food at a time,
Oh.
which really kind of, it's not like now food doesn't really have any real sway over me. Like I don't really get interested in going out to eat anymore or anything, which is probably a good thing. But yeah, it's kind of weird. It screws up your whole lifestyle.
Wow. Yeah. I would think it would be hard. Yeah, it would be hard to change.
I'm gonna leave that off because if I start
Yeah.
trying to start it again, it
Oh,
fucks
yeah.
up the interview. So
It's like, I'm a smoker, man. It's so hard to get out of the habit of doing it, man. Like, I've tried so many times, and I could totally see it being a hard thing to do. I was going to ask, too, like Slim asked if you ever pissed anyone off. Have you ever pissed anyone off with a joke on stage or anything?
I'm sure there's probably been a few people who haven't enjoyed a joke or two. You can't please everybody, but most of my stuff isn't really that offensive. You've seen some of it. It tends to be, just general humor. I poke a lot of fun at myself, so that way I feel like it's okay to poke fun at other people. I did have a joke that had kind of made fun of racial stereotypes, and I had some people that didn't like it, and they would get a little offended at it, and I decided to take it down. It was I'll tell you the joke. Basically talking about how Huckleberry Finn did a reprint for the anniversary edition and took out the N-word.
Yes.
The N-word's like, hundreds of times throughout the book. They took out the N-word and they replaced it with, someone decided to replace it with the word slave for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who thought that was a good idea. And I was like, if that was me, if I was going to replace the N-word with something else, I'd just try a better N-word like Nintendo.
right.
I like that.
Where my Nintendo's at. Nintendo's in the house. Nintendo, please. And I'd be like, because it works. Nintendo, it's more playful. It's a better word. It's more fun. It's dynamic. And, and my Nintendo doesn't work half the time either.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't have a good punchline like that with this one, but I had a couple friends who changed it to Nacho just so they could say it when people are around.
Well, and what happened to be it's really kind of funny is I had a lot of people that loved it. A lot of people got that I was making fun of the stereotypes. I wasn't really, because I wasn't saying anything about it. I was just making fun of the stereotypes. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. And hold on, I'm waiting for the ambulance cops to go by. Okay. That I was making fun of the stereotypes, but then I saw that people would just say it sometimes, like something would happen with a kid getting arrested or something, and one of my fans I would see them write like fucking Nintendos.
That's funny.
The Nintendo's moved in next door, and my house is worthless now.
Right. And so then it started getting something where I'm like, these aren't people who are getting the joke the way I want it. So I actually pulled it from my material. I don't do it anymore because I really didn't want to contribute to to that type of idiocy. I was like, I don't want to contribute to that, So I don't do it anymore. So I don't have any more offensive jokes then,
Where can people find your book? Is it on Amazon and stuff?
It's on Amazon, just under my name or under interviews with dead celebrities. It's also on my site, in my merchandise section. I sell a signed copy.
Cool.
So I actually hand sign it and we'll send it out. So that's usually where I tell people to go is the website. It's better anyways.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask if it was actually printed or if it was just like an ebook or something like that.
No, you can buy a Kindle version, but I have it's also in print. I've got a paperback version as well.
Cool.
How many interviews did you write in there?
There are 55 interviews, because
Wow.
40 of them were ones that I had written on my site over the years, but then I redid them all, and then 15 of them were ones that I'd written brand new just for the book.
Nice.
Now, was it all like whenever a celebrity dies, or have you gone back and done ones for like celebrities that have been dead, like Kurt Cobain or like stuff like that?
A lot of them were for ones that had already been dead, but then I started, when I was doing the book, I wanted to try to maybe get a better group of celebrities, or more diverse, or just a more unique group. So I went and did like, let's see, I did Hitler, I did Princess Diana, Helen Keller's in there,
That's awesome.
Mark Twain, Ronald Reagan. So there's a bunch that had died before I even started doing them. So yeah, I did start incorporating older ones.
That's
just like the
cool.
Rosa Parks one. I mean, she died in 2005.
Yeah.
So like, 10 years ago.
Of the ones you've done, do you have like a personal favorite?
Well, there are two different types of interviews. Some are ones where I'm just being goofy. Like, for example, I interview like Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun movies and Airplane movies, and all it is a bunch of puns, because that's what those movies were, and it's just playing on the puns and all that, and so it's silly. And there's one with one is the jive talking grandma, Barbara Billingsley from Airplane, and the whole interview is written in jive. Those I like, but there's some where I actually went more serious, where I actually took time to interview and it got a little more metaphysical, which is weird, but it actually worked. Like George Carlin, I watched like 4 hours of him interviewing, so when I actually did the interview with him, it sounded like him, and I have a bunch of comedian friends that said that they were so impressed because it sounds like Carlin speaking.
That's cool.
My Steve Jobs one was good because I didn't know how to do the interview. I was having trouble with it, so I just started in the interview saying to the fake Steve Jobs that I don't know how to start the interview, and Steve Jobs helps me write the interview. It's completely like I just stepped out of my own brain and just wrote, and it came out really good.
So now I gotta ask you, do you just like record yourself like actually having like this fake conversation, or you just write it all down?
I just started writing. Sometimes just start writing. I start off with at least one question or one point that I want to try to get to, and then I just kind of let it go, and I just distance myself. And the reason I can do that is because I help a lot of people with writing like personal statements and writing cover letters when they apply to jobs and stuff. It's a job that I do, and so I'm very good at kind of stepping into someone else's shoes and writing in their voice.
Nice.
Okay.
I was going to ask too. It said you worked on ABC and Fox. I was going to ask what you've done with them.
Yeah, that nothing actually. That's my credits that they put on the when I'm headlining. It's so funny how clubs do TV credits. What I've done is I've been on ABC and Fox in our local like the whole Central Florida area.
Oh.
I've been on talking about comedy, and they highlighted me as a comedian and things like that.
Oh,
so that's
okay.
what I ended up doing. It's not anything that was actual national. It wasn't anything like a TV or anything like that.
Okay.
TV show or anything. Yeah. They a lot of clubs, as soon as you have any type of credit at all, they want it just so they can really push it and just use some hyperbole, because they feel like people are going to walk in the door. It's like, oh, this guy was on Fox. Let's go watch him.
Nice. I like that. I was going to send our intern, Pete, out to, like, if they're doing a news story, to just jump in the background and wave and shit. Like, I think that would be good.
Well, that happens too. Like anytime you can get anywhere on TV, you're like, oh, there's my TV credit. It's really what it is sometimes. Because people have this weird thing that they don't care how good you are as a headliner. If you don't have a TV credit, they're not willing to consider you sometimes.
Wow.
I wanted our intern to do local reporting. Like, I just want to send him out. Like, so you were busted for heroin the other day. How did that go?
That's a credit right there. There you go.
I like that.
Where are you guys based out of?
We're New Jersey.
Okay. All right.
We get a bad rap for that.
Down the shore.
Yeah.
No. I know plenty of people from New Jersey. I like half of them, so that's good.
What did you say earlier? You write cover letters? What exactly is that?
Like for those of us who have had jobs, you know how when you sometimes have to send in a resume and a cover letter. So sometimes people they have difficulty with that, and I'm like a career counselor, so I help people learn how to network themselves and how to write personal statements when they apply to colleges and stuff like that, and how to write cover letters and resumes.
Cool. Have you met a lot of like crazy people doing that?
No, not really. It's usually people who are pretty stable that just need a new one. Like, it's not as fun as it probably could be. I meet more crazy people doing comedy than I do anything else.
Are you currently on tour, or do you just do like local?
I went on tour in September. Went all the way up to Knoxville and back, 9 days, 9 cities, 9 shows. That was a lot of fun. Right now, I'm in Orlando for the next couple months. Like tonight, I'm downtown Orlando right now, waiting for this bar to open up, and I'm doing a thing here.
Cool.
So yeah, wherever I can get paid, honestly. Although touring is fun. It gets tiring after a while, but it's fun.
Yeah. What's your favorite venue to perform at?
Right now, I'd have to say probably the Orlando Improv. Just because the Improv is the classic brick wall, HBO, live at the Improv type thing, and so it kind of just evokes a very classic comedy club. And when you have a show there, it's impossible to have a bad show. So I love performing there.
Cool.
I was curious, like you said, you've been losing a lot of weight. What do you do when you're not a fat guy anymore? Do you just completely rewrite all your jokes?
Yeah, like if I were to keep losing weight to the point that I'm still a big guy, so like I still have a ways to go before I can stop making fat jokes. Yeah, I would probably get rid of that stuff, or I could get rid of the stuff that was about me being fat. Maybe keep in a couple of the bits, because some of it's I can rework. The punchlines still work. It's just a little bit different. But yeah, I would have to. I mean, honestly, like it's like if you're married and then you're not married anymore, and you start telling you have to start writing new jokes.
Yeah. How often do you write new jokes? Are you always writing new ones, or?
It's my goal to try to do that. I haven't been able to start doing comedy to the point full time where I'm like always writing and everything. But I write whenever anything strikes me. Something will hit me as being good, and I'll jot it down and try it out a couple of the mics, and then put it into a couple shows.
Yeah, I do that. Like sometimes when I'm working, I'll just keep like paper and pen on me, because I'll just think of something out of the blue, and I got to write it down or I'll forget it.
Write it on like a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, whatever. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got a whole bunch of notes, like in little voice recordings and stuff like that I'll keep if anything occurs to me when I'm driving. Otherwise, I'll just text it to myself, and just that way I have a way to go back and look through all my stuff.
Nice.
And the worst part though is when you're drunk and you have an idea. Like I'll be out one night, just shit-faced, and I'll have an idea, and I'll write it in my notebook, and then the next morning I'll be looking at it, and I'll be like, avocado lesbian. What the fuck does that mean? Like, I don't even know what that is. What joke was I thinking of? And so it always kills me when that happens.
I did that once. I woke up from a dream and I was laughing at whatever was in the dream, so I wrote it down, and the next morning, same thing, like vampire fucking whatever, vampire nachos, and I'm like, yeah, that's really not funny, but I was laughing hysterically, and I wrote it down. I'm like, what the fuck?
Vampire.
Yeah, exactly. It's not quite as helpful sometimes.
Yeah.
But usually too.
I've done the like drunk thing and have written stuff that I thought was like the funniest shit I've ever written, or the greatest, deepest thing I've ever written, and then I wake up the next morning and be like, what is this fucking crap? Like, this is the worst.
Oh yeah.
Do you drink like before a show just to like calm your nerves?
I don't have nerves before shows. Like, to me, I've only got nervous, like, my first time performing, first time, like, when my mother was in the audience, first time headline, and, like, stuff like that. I've got nervous. But other than that, no, I don't get nervous. I might have one drink, but I usually don't have more than one if I have that, because I don't want to get sloppy. A lot of my stuff is very specific, precise word choice, and yeah, I've been up at open mic where I've had a few drinks, and then it just turns to shit. So.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's a few that, like, I think Jim Jeffries, when he drank, he was still great.
Oh, yeah,
but it's still hard to pull that off, dude.
It depends on either the persona that you have, like the whatever you were putting on stage, and his persona works like that. His persona kind of works in that attitude that he has, that he's drunk, but he still knows his material enough that it works.
Yes, yeah.
I watched a documentary on Bill Hicks where he used to get really fucking drunk, and at one point he cleared like an entire crowd, and he was just like laying on the ground, like yelling, and just was still going even after everybody had left. And
Bill Hicks was fucking.
Yeah, and then he switched to doing mushrooms and was fine after that.
Wow.
He'd be on shrooms on stage.
Yeah.
Really? Bad. I've been to shows where the headliner gets drunk, and you just have to. It's just awkward and weird, and you don't know what to do. Like, you're just sitting there watching them just spiral down towards and it becomes very personal sometimes too.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think if I don't think I've ever seen a comedian. Besides, I did see Jim when he was fucking drinking, and he's one of the only ones I've seen that I thought could pull it off.
Yeah. I mean, like, some comics even pretend to drink and they don't actually have booze. Like, I don't think Ron White, I don't know this for sure, but I don't think the booze that he drinks when he's on stage is actually booze.
Yeah.
I think it's, I think it's all part of an affectation now.
Yeah. He's funny, too.
Yeah, but
he's one of the few Southern comedians that I really find funny.
He used to be a really bad alcoholic, too, wasn't he?
Funny.
Yeah, I've thought the same thing. I think he's like one of the only ones in my book that could, perform in New York City and, do good.
Yeah, Ron White was the best out of that entire... For the most part, that was
oh, they're garbage.
It's just like ninth grade...
Yeah,
humor,
just middle school humor, exactly.
Me and my friend thought it was funny when we were like, 14 years old, but once you get beyond that, it's like,
I never liked
anymore.
Foxworthy. I never liked Larry. Oh
no, yeah, Larry Dan Whitney's from here, from this area.
Really?
Yeah, he started off calling into a radio show as that character, Larry the Cable Guy, and then it just kind of became a thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
I heard Bob Kelly once do his like version of that kind of a comedian. It was just like every 2 seconds, "Where we going? Where we going?" It was just like this great fucking catchphrase for like hillbillies, like "Where we going, huh?"
Yeah.
Oh, that was so annoying. Like in this town,
Get her
everyone was
done.
screaming,
Oh,
"Get
it was
her
bad.
Dude,
done."
I saw stickers on cars like get R done. Like I hated that fucking shit so much.
Oh yeah,
dude.
hate that shit.
Oh, it's like really you base the whole act on that. Come on.
Although to be honest, as a comic, if I could come up with a catchphrase that would be that, like,
right?
Get that much appeal, then I would totally do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, like, we haven't done shit, man, compared to that.
Yeah.
That one.
If people are buying
phrase.
that stickers and putting it on their cars, I would totally be up for that.
That's your next project, Pete. You got to come up with a slogan like that, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe like. Get M done or something. Get P done. Get P for P.
Do me hard.
Do me hard. I like
Do me
that.
hard. Do me hard. Good. I think just yelling "accomplished" would be cool too. Accomplished.
Accomplished.
Slim had one a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the Chevy Tahoe, and he's like, "What's a Tahoe?"
What's a
I think
Tahoe?
"What's a Tahoe?" should be
Yeah,
one.
that's a good one. What's a Tahoe?
That's awesome.
Or maybe just like we said, like vampire nachos or something.
Vampire
Yeah.
nachos.
We'll give it a shot. It might be big.
I'm back, baby.
Avocado lesbian.
So, Adam, you said you're performing tonight?
I'm not performing. I started this thing in downtown. It's a bar-based, team-based version of Cards Against Humanity. So like people get together in teams, and I run the whole thing and give out a free bottle of booze and all this stuff. And I started for something to do, and it's kind of fun, and it's better than like all that shitty, dirty bingo and dirty trivia and that people do. So that's what I'm doing tonight.
Cool,
man.
Yeah.
What
Yep.
I forget what I was gonna ask.
Cards Against Humanity.
So you guys stream this live, and then it goes on a podcast? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we stream live on Ustream, which is down right now because it's been terrible the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But we're also on an internet radio station called IPM, and then it goes on. Slim will upload it to SoundCloud and YouTube, and when that goes up, I'll tweet you all the links and all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely. Yeah.
It also IPM runs a replay of our most recent show every week on Saturday night.
Yeah, so it gets listened to twice. They're awesome, man. We were coming in for a while on like the top 10, like steady for 2 or 3 weeks, and we're off right now. I don't know what these guys did that fucked it up. But it wasn't me, bro. It wasn't me. No.
Right, yeah.
But somebody said the holidays for some reason are hard on comedy shows on there. So I guess
Is that true? Does it let's ask the comedian. Is it hard to do comedy around the holidays?
It can be hard because people have so many holiday parties and things like that. They don't go out as much. Like I know that shows around Thanksgiving weekend and Halloween weekend and Christmas weekend are just going to be terrible. You're not going to get a big turnout because you're probably going to lose a third or more of your audience because those are the casual people who are like, hey, what should we do tonight? Let's go out to a comedy show. And instead they've got something else going on.
Okay. was gonna ask, could you write a resume for Slim, like a really bad one, like, and we send it out to companies?
Oh, that would be awesome. Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. I can do that.
Or any of us, we could.
Yeah,
just,
I'm down for that.
Yeah, we could all have a really. We could do it. We could brainstorm it up one of these days, like just a really. Bad resume. Yeah. Like, do you ever press charges? Would be like the first line in it.
I did one for a friend. He was just like, "Can you help me out with mine?" So I was like, "Yeah," and I'll give it to you. Make sure you read carefully, make sure everything looks good. And then in like the skills and interest section, in the interest, one of it was just putting peanut butter on my taint. Was one of the interests.
Oh, that's amazing.
He's like, I love the resume. It looks great, blah, blah. And I was like, well, don't send it out so you actually read it. He goes, I read it.